Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Christopher Roberts. Joining me now, she is from Owings Mills, Maryland. She is a communication and soft skills specialist and a speech language pathologist. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Lynda Katz Wilner to the program. Lynda, welcome. How are you today?
Thank you, Chris. Very well today.
That's good to hear. Well, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to join us. We appreciate it.
Sure, and I appreciate the fact that you could pronounce all the things I put in front of you to describe what I do.
All righty. Well, why don't you start us off? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. I started out my career as a speech and language pathologist. So I worked with communication disorders with adults who had strokes, head injuries, head and neck cancer surgery, spinal cord injuries, and I worked in the clinical setting in a hospital for many years. And then I transitioned into working with professionals in the workplace who are challenged by communication, but it's not because of a communication disorder. So it could be they're challenged because of public speaking concerns or their voice quality, or they may have a foreign accent, and that's interfering with their ability to be understood, or maybe they have a regional dialect. I'm a transplanted New Yorker, so I knew that sometimes your dialect may make you stand out, and then they don't listen to what you're saying. So I help people polish their professional presence so that they come across and balance what I call the 3 V's. The visual, how they look, with the vocal, how they sound, and the verbal, what they say. And if they're all balanced, they'll come across very credible and professional.
All righty. Now, how's my voice?
Sounds very good. You should go into radio.
Gee, I wonder. I should talk to my boss about getting on the air here. What do you think?
Check that out.
All righty. So, what kind of background does somebody need to be able to really do what you do?
Well, what I feel what differentiates me from a lot of public speaking coaches are the fact that I have the background in speech and language pathology. So I know how to help somebody change their voice. I don't just say get louder, but I show them how to support their voice and get louder. If they're monotone, I know how to show them how to change pitch. And if they can't pronounce words or sounds, especially with somebody who speaks English as a second language, or if you're living in a different part of the country and you have a dialect, I know how to change how they pronounce consonants and vowels. So that background, that technical background I have, helps me work with individuals on their particular challenges.
All righty. So I guess you can tell my New Yorker accent, huh?
I guess so, a little bit, but that, you see, you'll make mine come out as we talk. As I talk. You'll hear it when I talk.
Huh? All righty. So, when somebody's reaching out to you for the first time, what are they really looking for? What do you see the most of?
I would say, well, it depends, because I work with individuals and I work with companies. So with a company, it may be that somebody moved up in the organization and they don't have the professional presence or the gravitas that they should have. And so they may ask me to work with this person. It could be a C-suite executive. It could be somebody who's just moving into management or team leader. And so the organization may ask me to come in and work with them. I also have individuals who contact me frequently about the fact that maybe they were promoted and they don't feel comfortable. Or the most common thing I have is when people have the nervousness about public speaking. And so I have master classes, and now I even have virtual master classes where we meet together and we can practice the 3 V's and polishing their presence and learning strategies to harness some of that public speaking anxiety that so many of us have.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. I was going to ask you, how has COVID-19 affected you, as far as your business is concerned?
Well, Chris, that's really interesting because it has affected me. Of course, it's affected everybody, but I've been doing virtual training for the past 15 years. A lot of my clients are in Europe and China and Australia and Africa, and so I have been doing my coaching virtually for years. Now what's transitioned is, number one, companies may not have the training budgets, so that certainly may impact things. But I also started specializing in training other people how to present themselves professionally in virtual communication. So I have some videos I've made and articles I've written about this on when you get into your Zoom meeting, how are you presenting yourself? How is the lighting? How are you dressed? What is the background like? And so, in a way, I've transitioned more into that area to help other people. I've had colleagues call me and say, I have to give a presentation to 15 people, and now I have to do it virtually. How am I going to do it? So I can help people through that process. So they're not just jumping on and you're seeing their ceiling fan and their face is a shadow. I can help them so that they come across as professionally as they might in person.
All right.
So in a way, it diversified me a little bit.
Oh, there you go. Now, where do you see yourself moving forward? What's going to be on tap for you in the future?
Well, I'm doing more and more of the virtual public speaking classes. So I have what I have is 5 to 6 people at one time coming into a class, and I've done some of them virtually already. And I could see doing this around the world. My clients could be any place as long as they have the technology and the internet. So I see myself doing more and more virtual work. I can't wait to get back into the companies and do the live work, but I could see it going both ways, that I would do both. I would supplement. We may be supplementing the live to the virtual, because the virtual is where we are right now, and it will be for quite some time. So I see myself continuing to do that. I've been working with priests around the world who speak English as a second language. I hope to continue that. I work with doctors in healthcare. Right now, they don't have time to work on their communication skills because they certainly are tapped out in what they're doing in the hospitals right now. But I work with a lot of people who speak English as a second language and help them, especially when they're in global organizations, help them have confidence so that they can speak up at meetings and feel that they're understood the first time. So in answer to your question, Chris, I see myself just continuing to do what I'm doing right now, which is what I love doing. Perhaps more professional speaking, because I am a professional member of the National Speakers Association. So I'd like to see myself going to other organizations or conferences to share my expertise.
Alrighty then, and how can my audience reach out and contact you to find out more information?
They can go to my website. I have 2 websites, but let me tell you the main one, and they can connect. It's Lynda Katz Wilner. That's LYNDAKATZWILNER.com. That's my website. My phone number is 410-356-5666. And they can even schedule a 15-minute free consultation. I do that with all potential clients or people who just have questions about my services.
All righty. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Chris. It was nice talking to you.
Absolutely. And for everyone else out there, do stick around. We will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.